I've lived in my apartment for over 5 years now. And in that time, I've grown accustomed to the familiar rhythms of my neighborhood. There's the sound of Mrs. Jenkins' yappy little dog, the smell of freshly cut grass on Sundays, and the sight of my neighbor, Mr. Thompson, who never seems to leave his house. At first, I thought nothing of it. Maybe he worked from home or was just a homebody. But as the months went by, I started to notice something odd. Mr. Thompson's curtains were always closed, and his windows were always covered in a thick layer of grime. I'd see the flicker of his TV through the gaps, but that was it. I'd wave at him when I saw him at his window, but he'd just stare back at me, his expression unreadable. I tried to strike up a conversation a few times, but he'd just grunt and quickly retreat back into the darkness of his apartment. As the years passed, I started to feel a creeping sense of unease whenever I thought about Mr. Thompson. It was as if he was watching me, waiting for something to happen. I'd catch glimpses of him out of the corner of my eye, but whenever I turned to look, he'd be gone. I started to wonder if he was even still alive. One day, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I baked a batch of cookies and walked over to Mr. Thompson's apartment, determined to finally get to know my reclusive neighbor. I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, it creaked open by itself. I pushed it open slowly, calling out to see if anyone was there. The air inside was thick and stale, and I could hear the distant hum of a fan. As I stepped inside, I saw that the apartment was cluttered with old furniture and stacks of yellowed newspapers. I made my way deeper into the apartment, my heart pounding in my chest, and then I saw him. Mr. Thompson was sitting in an armchair, his eyes fixed on me with an unblinking stare. He was pale and gaunt, his skin stretched tight over his cheekbones. I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. Mr. Thompson didn't seem to notice. He just kept staring at me, his eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. And then, I saw it, a small, childlike drawing on the wall, scrawled in red crayon. It was a picture of me, standing in front of my apartment building. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that Mr. Thompson had been watching me all along. But it was what happened next that made my blood run cold. Mr. Thompson's expression changed, his face contorting into a twisted grin. He leaned forward, his eyes glinting with a malevolent light. And then, he spoke. "I've been waiting for you," he whispered, his voice like a rusty gate. "I've been waiting for a very long time." As I turned to run, I heard the sound of the door slamming shut behind me. I was trapped. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, my head throbbing with pain. The apartment was empty, the door wide open. I stumbled out into the bright sunlight, gasping for air. As I looked back at the apartment building, I saw Mr. Thompson standing in his window, his eyes fixed on me with an unblinking stare. I knew then that I had to get out of there, to get as far away from Mr. Thompson as possible. I packed my bags and moved to a new city, trying to put the experience behind me. But even now, I can feel Mr. Thompson's eyes on me, watching me, waiting for me. And I know that I'll never be able to escape him, no matter how far I run.